At what point when you're blocking fire engines and ambulances are you concerned about lives being lost by what you're doing?
Well, the whole reason we're doing this is because we're concerned about the lives of the
But you
British
get the
people.
irony that if you're actually stopping ambulances and fire engines going to save people's lives, they may actually die because of your protest.
Well, actually, we have a blue light policy. We let through every emergency vehicle.
But you didn't know,
and
did you?
if you actually cared to run the whole footage there, you'd see that that ambulance is advised by one of our people to avoid the roadblock. And
Why don't you just do the sensible thing and just get out of the way? You have.
Yeah, who's got time for that in an emergency?
Avoid the roadblock. It means that they have to go on a diversion when somebody's dying in the ambulance. What is wrong with these people?
Selfish. It's just so selfish.
Like, you want to save the planet and simultaneously piss everyone off and potentially kill people in the process for the greater good. First of all, I don't even believe in their cause to begin with. And secondly, even if you are right, you're going, like I said before, you're going about it in the complete wrong way.
You have absolutely no right to obstruct other people's daily lives. You have the right to protest on the side of the street. You are unlawfully in the middle of the street. It's utterly outrageous. It's selfish, and you are putting people's lives at risk.
No, he's right. It's against the law to be in the middle of the road doing that.
I'm
Isn't
saying.
it like called jaywalking or something? I don't know if we have that in this country, but
I'm just surprised that the police genuinely don't do anything about it. You know, we had not long ago the insulation ones that were sitting like on the M25 and stuff, and no one was allowed to actually do anything. And it's like, why?
yeah, the woman that grabbed one of them and dragged them off, she got in trouble for it. I think she got put in prison or something happened to her. How are we getting in trouble for these morons?
But how, I just don't understand how the police will pretty much get you for any small little thing you do, but yet these people are allowed to do something as extreme as this. And that's it. So let's say, right, if I was driving and someone ran in the road and I accidentally ran them over because they ran in the road and they died, I would get done for manslaughter. Somebody's in this ambulance van now, and let's say they die because they couldn't make it to the hospital. Why are these people not being done for manslaughter? Because that's essentially their fault.
Yeah, 100% agree with you. 100%.
It doesn't make sense.
If there's a fire, the fire brigade are trying to get through, and someone's house is on fire, someone ends up burning, or their property ends up getting more damaged because the fire brigade couldn't get there on time, they should be responsible for it. Protest in the road if you want, but we should hold them responsible for anything that is caused by their nonsense.
But I do feel like these protesters that do this is not the way to be heard, because this is just going to piss people off and make them rebel against you even more as well.
Yeah, like I've said before, I understand when protests need to escalate for people to hear you more. Vandalism, obstructing people on the way to work, stopping ambulances, like all of this bullshit that you see on both sides of the argument, it's not the way to do it. And I know that I'm not necessarily providing any alternatives, but I do know that this is pissing people off. Like, that's the reality we live in. This is just pissing people off.
It's going to, because what you're doing is just very selfish. It's very wrong.
Nobody wants to hear what you have to say anymore. Everyone almost unanimously is saying throw their asses in prison, make an example of them.
They're allowed to stay in there and simply dump all the milk out. No one is stopping them. Okay, here's one guy that looks like he's going to stop them. He's trying to reason with them, but they don't care. Oh, and now he's just going to walk away. Oh, he is an employee. He's got the headset on. Okay, how about actual security? Come and grab these girls and drag them out. That's one strategy we could think about. I just want to keep watching this to see if does anyone drag these. No, they don't.
Look at this fucking beta with this sign, plant-based future, is just standing there whilst these heathens pour milk all over the floor. All you're doing is making the cleaner's job much harder. The poor guy's already not got a good job, or woman, and you're just pouring milk everywhere for them to clean, because who else is going to clean it?
And who's going to pay for it?
The farmers have already got their money. They have already sold it to the supermarkets. You're just making the people that work in the supermarket have a rougher day.
If I walked into a supermarket and I accidentally dropped a bottle of wine off the shelf and it broke, they'd make me pay for that.
100%.
Exactly. So
as you should.
Please tell me that these people are at least paying for all this milk that they're wasting.
No, they ain't paying for shit.
I tell you one thing, these people are brave.
Yeah, they're cruising for a bruising.
Very, very brave.
Look, listen, you come to my local Turkish store and you try and mess with them guys, you are going to get the shit kicked
game
out of you.
over.
I'm telling you right now. The guy that lives in my house that owns this store, you walk into his store and start pouring milk because you're trying to protest, you're going to go to A&E very quickly. You're getting away with it right now because it's in a big supermarket. But the minute you get too brazen and you come to local stores in these smaller communities where people know each other, it's not just going to be the store owners that deal with you.
Yeah, not everyone's going to tolerate and stand for this bullshit.
I can't believe the security guard just stood there and let them do that. I can only imagine the fury I would feel if I saw my daughter doing that. Oh my days.
I'd be embarrassed.
She ain't coming home. You want to act like that? Go find somewhere to live. You're acting like a rabid dog. Can't have a rabid dog in my house. You just can't stay here if you're going to behave like that. And that fucking guy that was just standing there holding the sign. He looked like he didn't even want to be there. He looked so
I don't know, I
embarrassed.
just work here.
He's just some cuck looking to get laid. He's like, that's all he is.
Lying down like he was sunbathing.
Fuck every single one of you. Fuck everything about you, you uber privileged pieces of shit.
What's that? What's uber privileged?
They're super privileged. They're so privileged they've got this much time to waste. Can you imagine seeing some shit like this back in like Turkey or in Cyprus or that?
There's just certain places in the world where this stuff just won't run, and the UK just puts up with so much bullshit.
Yeah, the police ain't really allowed to exercise much force. And when they do, it's always on the wrong person.
Do you know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
what I'm saying. They're using force on so much of the wrong shit.
Yeah,
Time
like-
and energy is being wasted on the wrong people.
Yeah, you need to lock these people up, man. Make an example of them. They can't be it's hard enough getting home from central London. It's hard enough dealing with that traffic. To deal with those morons. Bunch of pansies. But, you know, they took it one step further.
Security.
What is worth more, art or life? Is it worth more than food? Worth more than justice? Are you more concerned about the protection of a painting or the protection of our planet and people? The cost of living crisis is part of the cost of oil crisis. Fuel is unaffordable to millions of cold, hungry families. They can't even afford to heat a tin of soup.
And you're wasting it by throwing it in an art gallery.
Yeah, you're a mug. They should have just left them glued to the wall.
Didn't they get arrested, these lot, though?
Yeah, they
I'm
got
sure I
arrested. You
heard
can't
about
just
it.
throw
Nah.
food at Van Gogh's paintings and act like that, man. Like, look, these people are sick. This is not how you get people on your side. This is not how you get a nation to stand behind your causes. No one wants to listen to a thing you have to say anymore. All you look like are crazy people.
She looked nervous, though. You
Yeah.
could hear it. She was trembling in her voice.
Yeah. Are you getting paid to do this?
Halfway through, she was probably like, shit, what have I done?
Is it really worth it? What they should do, you want to glue yourself to the wall? Fine. You can stay there. Stay glued to the wall. That's your punishment. Stay there for however long you want. I can't take these climate activists, man.
Yeah.
They're not serious people. This is not how you evoke change. Good luck to you guys. And like I said, don't go to the wrong area doing this shit. Trust me, stay in central London.
Just find different ways to go about things,
Yeah.
honestly.
You want to get people on your side, have a little meeting, have a little get together, get some Doritos and hula hoops, sit around, have a little chat, figure out a way to get your message across without pissing off the entire nation. Everyone, young and old, no one likes you, no one believes you, and nobody wants to stand with you.
And stop blocking the roads.
Yeah, it's flipping annoying, man.